Don't be fooled by his manner. He's part of the plot.
Plot?
Don't be naive. He's part of the conspiracy to silence me, either by keeping me in here indefinitely or by...
But why would they take that chance now? I mean, there's still so few of us and we're not that well known. How can we harm them?
Look, they can't afford to let me appear on the Forum for the People program. When I tell what I know about abuse and the law, it'll cause such a stink with the public that they'll have to release me.
Okay, that's fine. But supposing the appeal fails, how are you going to get out then?
That's what you have to figure. You and the others. But one way or the other, the movement has got to get me out.
Okay. I'll talk to the committee and tell them it's a matter of priority.
Oh, it's more than that. It's a matter of life and death.
How brave do you think she'd be with this shoved up her nose?
Ricky, that's fantastic. Have you got any ammo?
Who needs it? Somebody pointed that at me, I'd do what I was told, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose I would. And I know where we can get our hands on some real firing power. My brother's got a shotgun and plenty of ammo.
Oh, come on, the pressure's off for the day. I thought we could just get to know each other better.
Is this where I'm supposed to say, all this is so sudden or something?
Oh, Jim, I think you're nervous.
Colleen, if I didn't know you better, I'd say you were making a pass.
Well, would that be so terrible?
Oh, no, not terrible, but...
Well, then?
You're trying to get me to drop that report, aren't you?
What?
This whole routine is to make me forget that I saw you hit Hennessy.
That's ridiculous. You'd already told me you weren't going to forget it. I'd accepted that.
In that case, what's all this routine for?
I told you. I just wanted to get to know you better.
Oh, come on. After all this time, you expect me to believe that?
Yes, because it's the truth. But then if you don't believe it, there's obviously nothing I can do to change your mind.
Come on, Doreen, concentrate.
I was concentrating.
Yeah, on Peter.
You're pretty keen on him, aren't you?
Oh, yes, sort of.
Yeah, we'll make the most of it. He's not going to last long.
Why not?
Too green, hasn't got a clue.
He has so too.
Not about life on the run, he hasn't.
Suppose you're right.
Why don't you ask him to give himself up?
Well, B already did that, but he didn't seem too impressed.
Just a thought.
Yeah, anyway, if he did give himself up to the cops, they'd only belt him around.
Not if he had someone with him.
Like who, for instance?
Mrs. Morris.
Oh, we already kicked around that idea. What could she do?
Make sure he got a decent deal.
Oh, you know what sort of deals the cops make.
Well, you could at least talk to her.
That's right, honey. You said yourself he's not going to survive well on the outside.
Yeah, I suppose he's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, especially if he gets caught.
You get out.
I'm entitled to watch the TV.
You're entitled to nothing. Now scram.
It's only the TV.
We are having a private conversation. Now get out.
How'd you get on with Hennessy earlier?
Hopeless. I think the only way to get on side with her is to join your wretched movement.
Is that likely?
No, at least I hope not. I'd start to worry about myself if it was. Well, what was that all about?
I can't begin to tell you. I think I'd better sort it out. I'll see you later.
Aren't you talking to me either?
Of course I am.
Was it a good joke?
What?
You and Meg Morris.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Colleen, we weren't laughing at you.
No? Looked like that to me.
Oh, for Pete's sake, this is silly. Look, I don't know what's going on, but I do know that we used to get on well together, and now we don't. So whatever this is all about, can we at least call a truce?
Fine.
Good. Now about Andrea Hennessy.
I don't want to discuss
Well,
that.
neither do I, but I'm going to. Now, I realise that you were severely provoked, and, well, thinking about it, I've decided to drop the report.
Well, that's up to you.
Yes, it is. But I'm warning you, Colleen. Don't do it again.
Judah, I'd like to apologise. About the chocolate, I didn't mean any harm.
No?
I just didn't understand, you see. Like, well, I'm new in here, and I was just looking for one friendly person, you know? Like, just one person against all those angry people out there.
Well, if they were angry, that's your fault, isn't it?
Well, I didn't mean to.
You could have fooled me.
Well, they were hostile from the minute I got here.
If you will remember, they were quite friendly, except for the screws, and that should have been a plus.
You didn't think so?
That's because I was there in reception. You did everything you possibly could to upset the screws and succeeded.
Then why don't the prisoners like me?
The same reason the screws don't like you, because you're a know-all. Oh, and let's not forget your Bible bashing.
It's not a Bible.
You'd have fooled me. Do this, do that, and save the world.
Look, you can mock me all you like, Jude, but my ideas can work if people just give them a try, if they just bend a little. Everybody's so damn rigid in here.
Well, what if people don't want to bend your way?
They would if they listened.
And what do you do to make them listen, huh? You come in here like a bull in a china shop, for crying out loud. For someone that's supposed to be educated, you seem really stupid.
Well, I tried. Well, I mean well. Oh, it doesn't matter what I do, it's interpreted wrongly. Women hate me. That bee's out to get me.
She could, too. Look, why don't you just forget about it for a while? You know, stay by yourself just till things settle down.
I wish it was that easy, but it's me against all of them. I guess I'm just not much of a survivor on my own.
Have you got many people on your side?
No.
How about outside?
Oh, a few, I suppose, not many, no.
Well, I can relate to that, you know. I've been a loner all my life. Well, one thing's for sure, you're safe in here with me, kid, because I'm not going to come at you with a knife in the middle of the night.
It's a comforting thought.
Yeah, well, it's like that in here.
Well, I've heard it better.
I doubt it. Andrea, I'm not much for going against what the women think, but I will in this case. Now, you get some sleep, and don't worry, because I'll look after you, huh?
Yeah, well, I'll leave you to it then.
Sure you don't mind?
No, anyhow, someone's got to keep knit.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, Peter, you can come out now.
Is it safe?
Yeah, Bee's keeping an eye out.
It's a bit cramped up there.
Yeah, I bet. Hey, look, what I got for you. Smuggled it out.
Oh, gee, thanks.
It's the least I could do.
Wow, do you eat like this in there?
Oh, no, we don't. I stole that from the screws mess.
Geez, they do all right. How are you, anyway?
Oh, great. Yeah, great.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Did you have a good night?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, well, I'll leave you to it.
Oh, can I get you anything else?
No, this will be okay, thanks.
What about a cup of tea?
Oh, yeah, could go on something to drink at the moment.
Oh, well, I'll put the kettle on for you. Be ready in no time.
Good.
I suppose I'd better turn the stove on.
Yeah. The exercise period this afternoon, that's our best chance.
We have one small problem.
What's that?
Well, how do we fill Andrea in?
Simple. You go in and tell her.
Me? And how are we going to manage that?
Look, she's allowed visitors.
It's a bit risky, isn't it?
Why? It's perfectly legal to go in there and discuss appeal details with the prisoners, isn't it? Look, if you've got a better idea, I'd like to hear it right now. Good. Well, when you finish that, we'll get going.
What made you come here?
I don't know, close, I suppose.
Close? Why would you want to be close? Best bet's to get as far away as you can.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. There's no doubt about it, mate. Well, do you know anywhere else?
No, not really. Although, yeah, there's one place, an old boathouse.
Boathouse?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should go there then.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, geez, how are you going to survive, Peter? Wish I could help you. I could get you into a few places.
Hey, yeah, I bet you could.
Yeah, it's not a bad thought, is it, eh?
Yeah. Hi.
G'day.
How's young Martin?
Oh, he's okay, apart from his asthma.
Yeah, it's a shame about that.
Yeah. He's all right most of the time, but with me like this, I don't know, it could get really bad.
Have you told him about Meg?
No.
Well, are you going to? Hang on. Quick, Fletcher's coming.
Tea, Mr. Fletcher?
Are you leaving?
That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Hang on, I'll come with you.
Hennessy? Hennessy, you've got a visitor.
Who is it?
Oh, I don't know. It's something to do with your appeal, I think.
If this is the best you can do, it'll be time to go before we've had lunch.
Be ready soon.
But what have you been doing all this time anyway?
Working?
Yeah.
Well, in that case, you can work again after lunch on your own. Smith, you'll be outside.
You're not suggesting I'm a disruptive influence. Ah, Mr. Fletcher, and I thought you liked me.
Lunch in 15 minutes.
Anything you say, Mr. Fletcher.
Hal, are you all right?
Reasonable.
Oh, you could have fooled me. You look awful.
Hey, what's all this about an appeal?
Oh, yeah. We'll be making our move this afternoon. But you know how these things go. Require a lot of work.
Yeah, well, the law always does.
Yeah, but if I was you, I'd be getting a lot of fresh air exercise. Starting today.
Oh, whatever you say, Doctor.
Oh, that's the spirit. Everything will work out fine. You'll see. Now, the first thing we've got to do is work out the details, because we don't want to leave anything to chance.
No, we don't.
Oh, come on, Doreen. Aren't you ready yet?
Not quite, Mr. Fletcher. Just give me a minute. I'll be right there.
Well, hurry up. We're waiting for you.
Doreen.
Shh. He's just out there.
Yeah, I heard.
I've got to go, Peter.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
You bet.
Good. Hey, I decided to see that Meg you were talking about.
Do you think you should?
I've got no choice, really.
I'm all right. I'm coming.
Go on, off you go. I'll still be here tomorrow.
Okay. Bye, Peter.
Bye.
Come on, hurry on.
Hey, Mr. Fletcher, we're going to get an exercise period.
You've already had one at the attendance centre.
That was work.
It was also exercise.
Ah, come on, we are entitled to an exercise period every day, apart from work.
You didn't do much work before lunch. What were you doing then?
Exercising, warming up for when we had a real exercise period.
God, I don't know. You people get more time off than it's worth.
Ah, come on, we're going to get it though, aren't we?
Yeah, all right. Go back to your cells for now. I'll send an officer along shortly.
Oh, time, Mr. Fletcher, I'll remember you in my will.
Oh, they got you working.
Yes. Thanks.
Colleen, is anything the matter?
No. Should there be?
No, no reason. See you later.
Fine.
Officer Powell, I want you to take the women on an exercise period.
Which ones?
Well, the ones that have just returned from the attendance centre.
Oh, haven't they had enough exercise already?
Yes, probably, but I've already given my permission.
When do they want to go?
Right now.
Is that wise? Hennessy, she's just due for an exercise period right now. I've already allocated Barry for supervision.
Ah, yes, I see what you mean. Look, we'd better go ahead as planned, but, well, due to the way the women feel about Hennessy, I think it'd be advisable if we had a more senior officer there to take charge.
Done. I'll get them together.
Right.
Hi, we're going out for a bit of a walk. Want to come?
Oh, no, thanks, love.
Oh, do you the world of good.
Yeah, well, I want to catch up on some letter writing.
Fair enough.
I would thought you had enough exercise at the centre. Huh?
Just gives you an appetite for a bit more. See you, Jude.
Bea?
Yeah?
Listen, love, Andrew's going to be out there today.
So?
Well, I was just hoping you'd lay off for a bit.
Why?
Well, I think you've been a bit hard on her, that's all.
Uh-uh. I haven't been anywhere near hard enough.
Well, I think you're making a mistake.
You're the one that's making the mistake. Come on, Doreen.
God, I don't know why you're going out for exercise, Mouse. You hardly did anything at the attendance centre. Oh, I've got a crook back.
You haven't had enough of that either.
Thank you, ladies. Keep it quiet till you're outside.
Come on, Hennessy. This is no time for dawdling.
Okay, this'll do. There'll be a screw around that corner, but we should be safe. All right, let's go. Listen, B, you want to get rid of me. Now's your chance. Create a diversion.
Get down! Hit the dirt, you clown!
Blow the alarm. There's an escape on.
Get the damn thing working.
I can't. It's all tangled.
Stop! Leave her alone, you bitch!
Oh, come on! Let's go. No! We'll get caught.
don't you raise one finger now, and I'll charge you with attempted escape. Now, come on.
All right, Hennessy. Cool your heels in here.
You've got no right to throw me in this dump. I haven't done anything.
Really? Well, we'll let the governor decide that.
Well, I want to see the governor now.
You will. But I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry if I were you. Attempted escape. Well, it should be worth an extra 6 months. Looks like your little friends are going to have to carry on the revolution without you.
It's the incredible stupidity I cannot understand. What could she possibly hope to gain in broad daylight and in full view of a senior officer?
Yeah, beats me. She's a bit lacking in common sense.
Yes. Unfortunately, she's jeopardizing more than her own future. Under the circumstances, I don't think the women should be allowed to work at the centre tomorrow.
Well, that's a bit rough, isn't it? They didn't have anything to do with the escape attempt.
Mr. Fletcher, I cannot allow any suggestion that security is lax, especially with this new project.
Look, Smith & Co. went out of their way to make sure that they weren't involved. If they're punished for something they didn't do, it could stir up more trouble.
Perhaps. Come in. Mr. Fletcher, would you bring Hennessy to my office, please? The police will be here shortly to have a word with her.
Right.
And I'll think about the attendance centre and let you know.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You dealt with the situation very well.
Thank you. I was just doing my job.
Oh, no, it was more than that. You showed responsibility and initiative and averted what could have been a very dangerous situation.
Well, I think the sound of the alarm going off really got them flustered.
Oh, it was more than that. If you hadn't managed to get Hennessy away so quickly, somebody could have been injured. Yes?
Sergeant Williams, Mrs. Davidson?
Thank you. Sergeant Williams, this is Mrs. Powell, the officer who was in charge when the attempt was made. Do you want to have a word with her now?
Well, I'd like to see Hennessy first.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Powell. You may return to your duties for the time being.
Of course, Mrs. Davidson.
Hennessy won't be long, but I'm afraid we can't expect too much cooperation.
Oh, if it hadn't been for me old ticker, I could have been there in all that excitement.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too good for anyone's old ticker, let me tell you.
No, all them bullets flying everywhere.
Oh, it would have been worth it just to have seen that Andrea marched off into the pound, wouldn't it, Jude?
I don't know. Wonder if it might have come off.
What do you mean?
Oh, well, if we hadn't have all hit the ground, you know, like the way we did.
Yeah?
Well, not that I reckon we should have helped the stupid bitch.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
But do you reckon we did the right thing? I mean, we could have looked after ourselves better. Some of us could have made a run for it. You know, got over the fence.
Yeah, all over the fence together.
Screws couldn't have stopped us all at the same time.
Nah, just think of it. Sort of thing you only see in them war movies.
OK, hold it, girls. Look, we all know that Andrea and her mates are a pack of raving idiots, but you put a gun in their hands and they're a pack of dangerous raving idiots. Where do you think those bullets would have gone? The screws wouldn't have had to stop us. The bullets would have done it for them.
Oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
And furthermore, Andrea didn't ask us for our help. She didn't even tell us it was going to happen.
Yeah, she should have done that, especially as though we were going to be the meat and the sandwich.
Yeah, we shouldn't give a damn about us, so why should we worry about her?
Well, Hennessy, what is the explanation for this disgraceful affair?
I demand to know why I was thrown into solitary.
You're in no position to demand anything.
And why not?
Because of your part in the attempted escape.
Look, that had nothing to do with me. I've never seen those girls before in my life.
You expect us to believe that?
Look, I don't care what you believe.
That attitude will get you nowhere. Sergeant Williams wants to ask you a few questions. I suggest you help yourself by answering them honestly.
Pig.
That's enough of that, Hennessy.
I don't think you realize the seriousness of your position. You are in a great deal of trouble.
And why would that be? Look, that whole thing was a deliberate setup by the other women to discredit me.
You don't expect me to accept that explanation.
Oh, well, it was very well organised. Their leader yelled, sit, and they all sat. I was left standing high and dry wondering what the hell was happening.
I believe the women sat down to indicate their non-involvement in the situation.
That's what they wanted you to believe. And that's the conclusion that Mrs. Powell came to when she hauled me off.
Oh, this is getting us nowhere.
Look, I thought your law said innocent until proven guilty. Mrs. Powell had no right to drag me off like that. She had no proof that I had anything to do with it.
That is enough, Hennessy. I suggest you cooperate. It will only go against you if you don't.
Is that a threat?
Are you going to answer Sergeant Williams' questions or not?
Not until I've seen my solicitor, no.
Can you arrange that?
I suppose so.
Fine. There's no point in talking to her the way she is now.
And you can't throw me into solitary with no reason either.
I have no intention of doing that. However, this is not the end of the matter. There will be further inquiries. Mr. Fletcher, escort Hennessy back to her cell.
Come on, Hennessy.
And then, when they started shooting, I reckon we were goners.
No, I knew he wasn't. I lifted my head, see, and I saw them running off.
You? If I hadn't shouted at you, you would have ended up looking like a sieve.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't.
Oh, not much.
Come on, Smith. The governor wants to see you straight away.
Oh, well. Sounds like she wants to hear our side of the story.
Suck it to her, love.
No worry, I will.
Well, if that's the way they organise a revolution, I think I'll stick with being an oppressed underdog.
There's nothing wrong with a dog's life, providing you're top dog like B.
Yeah.
I thought you and I had a little chat.
So?
You're pretty dumb, aren't you? I mean, one minute you're talking to me about being on the women's side, and the next minute you're doing your damnedest to put them at risk.
Look, I didn't know anything about this morning.
If someone had got killed, you would have known plenty about this morning.
This place is suppressing my natural freedom. All my friends
Your friends, huh? I thought you knew who they were.
Oh, of course I knew, but I didn't know they were going to try and pull a stunt like that.
No, it would have been a great surprise.
Well, while I was trying my escape, your precious prison didn't exactly come out smelling roses, did it?
What the hell do you expect the screws to do? Open the bloody gates for you?
Well, I thought the prisoners might have helped.
Helped? Helped get killed, you mean?
Oh, come on, they just had to create a diversion. It wasn't difficult. But oh no, B. Smith has to deliberately block my escape.
B. Smith was looking after the other women.
Oh, B. Smith looks after herself.
Come off it, Andrea.
Look, you think about your rules. Golden rule number 1, don't lag, right? But if the top dog just happens to feel threatened by someone, then it's quite okay for her to suck up to the screws. And that's exactly what B. Smith did.
My main concern at the moment is the attendance centre. I'm not sure, after today's effort, that anyone should be allowed to go there tomorrow.
Oh, fair go, Mrs. Davidson. We put a lot of hard yakka into that place.
That may be so, but I cannot allow anyone to go there unless I'm absolutely sure they are trustworthy.
Well, you know what happened. We all hit the ground the moment the action started.
Yes, you did.
Well, you're not going to hang us for that, are you? I mean, not for stopping the escape.
As I was about to say, Smith, I do realise that without your cooperation, this afternoon could have ended quite differently. That is why I called you in here, to tell you so.
Yeah, well, I had to make sure none of the rest of the women were in the firing line, didn't I? Besides, no one pulls a dumb stunt like that around here and gets away with it.
It is not for you to decide what the women get away with, Smith. However, I'm glad you realised there was nothing to be gained from such rash actions and acted accordingly. I do appreciate it.
OK, so we played by the rules. Therefore, we shouldn't lose our privileges. I mean, that sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yes, all right then. The work party goes ahead tomorrow at the attendance centre as planned.
Don't know what Jude sees in you. Dumb ignorant bitch.
Yeah, especially after today.
Hey, ladies!
Good news.
Yeah? Don't tell me they're going to get some decent tucker in this joint at last.
That wouldn't be good news. That'd be a bloody miracle.
Because of a certain event around here, Davo seemed to think the attendance centre project might have to be a no-no.
Oh, you dumb bitch.
All right, you just keep your mouth shut. I'll do the talking.
Relax. I can tell you after I had a few words to
Yes,
say to her.
I'll bet you had a real pally chat.
And what is that supposed to mean?
I suppose your friend, Mrs. Davidson, congratulated you on all your work with the screws this afternoon.
I'd watch my big mouth if I were you.
You're despicable.
No one speaks to me like that.
I do, and it's time someone did. You stopped one of us from escaping today. I think that was a pretty bloody stupid thing to do.
I stopped one fool and her stupid playmates from exposing all of us to danger and mucking up our chances of getting to the attendance centre.
Not true. You let the screws take Andrea away. You let your bad feelings for one person stand in the way. You had a choice, you know that. Them or us. Only you chose them.
Like hell.
Yeah. You sucked up to the screws and you know it.
You bitch!
Cut it out! Cut it out!
Yeah, why don't you put on her clothes? And at least we'd know where you stand. Come on. It's not the food that stinks in here.
Yeah, Mrs. Morris, I was wondering if you could come down to the attendance centre this morning. Oh, no, there's nothing wrong. It's just that, well, I know you're real busy and all that, but it's so important I wouldn't really ask you.
Come on.
I've got to go now. The others are waiting for me outside. Yeah, you won't forget. OK, bye, Mrs. Morris.
Come on, Burns, we haven't got all day.
I reckon it'll still be there when I get there. Bye, Jude.
Bye, love.
Haven't done much with my life, I suppose.
Oh, you got plenty of time to set that straight.
Oh, I don't know now.
Of course you have. You're only a bit of a spring chicken. Any door?
Yeah. Your lunch will be ready in a minute, Peter.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Of course, I suppose it would have been different if I'd had a job, something to do. The only hassle is I spent more time out of school than in it.
Were you sick like little Martin?
Nah, I just used to wag a lot.
Oh, God, who didn't? I used to go walk about myself when I was a kid. I had this lovely little hideaway.
Yeah, I got a place like that myself. An old boathouse down by Taylor's Bend. Used to go fishing there all the time.
Sounds beautiful.
Great spot.
Oh, bum!
What's up, love?
Well, Mrs. Morris ought to be here by now.
Oh, she'll be here, I reckon.
Well, maybe she won't show.
Of course she will.
Well, you must be really starving by now.
Yeah, well, I am a bit hungry.
Yeah, it was real cold last night. I'm sorry I couldn't get an extra blanket in for you. Were you okay?
Yeah. Of course, it would have been different if I'd had somebody to cuddle up to.
Oh, yeah.
I reckon a young bloke like you's got a bonza future. So long as Mrs. M can work something out for you and you don't go mucking around by being on the run.
Hey, she's here. She's just outside talking to Fletch.
Oh, I told you she'd be along.
Oh, geez, I hope everything's going to be okay.
Julie, I'll be out for about an hour. Yeah, Brian, file those. No, it's... Well, this is supposed to go out today. Oh, damn it. Jim hasn't signed it. I knew these little jaunts the attendance centre mean the paperwork would be pushed to one side. Only one thing for it. As if there isn't enough to do around here.
She has her knickers in a knot this morning?
Huh. Well, that's the way things stand. I'm afraid I can't just wave a magic wand and make everything all right.
So I just walk into some cop shop and say, well, g'day, here I am.
Well, I don't see what else you can do. But I do know that if you give yourself up voluntarily, it will look a whole lot better than if you're caught. I'd come with you.
Oh, it's not as if you've done something real bad, Pete.
It's not as if he's done anything at all, really.
Except run away. And if you explain why, and tell the police you didn't know your friends were going to rob the petrol station, I think you'll probably get off quite lightly.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I really don't think you've got much choice.
You mean you dob on me?
Mrs. Morris, you wouldn't do that.
Well, I wouldn't want to. Just hope you don't force me into that position. Look, if you hadn't told me about all this, the police would have caught up with you eventually, and then they'd be less likely to believe your story.
I reckon she's right, Pete.
Right, will you come with me now?
I don't know. Geez, I can't even think straight at the moment.
All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a couple of hours to make up your mind. But if you don't come with me then, I'm afraid I'll have to let the authorities know where you are. Doreen, can I have a word with you? You've made things very awkward for me, Doreen. You know I should go straight to the police.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about that, but we didn't know what else to do, Mrs. Morris. I mean, it's not as though everything that's happened was even Peter's fault.
I understand that. But all this isn't doing him or yourselves any good.
But you are going to give him the couple of hours.
Don't worry, I won't break my word. But I expect you to do your part. Now, for Peter's sake, just make sure he's here when I get back.
Excuse me.
Yes?
You're from welfare too, are you?
No, I'm a prison officer at Wentworth.
Well, I wouldn't have thought that welfare had anything to do with a prison. Still, I've always thought there was something funny about those women.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Which one of them have you come to pick up?
I haven't come to pick up anyone. I have business with the officer in charge of the prisoners.
Prisoners?
Not that I think it's any of your business.
Look at that.
Oh, hell.
Jim, this report.
What the hell are you doing here?
I forgot to sign this report. It's important it goes out today.
What do you mean by turning up here in uniform?
Why shouldn't I?
Do you know how much trouble we've been having with people like that woman you were talking to?
You're being a bit silly, aren't you? Is there a problem?
It was bad enough when she thought we were from a welfare organisation. What do you reckon it's going to be like now?
Yeah, why didn't you turn up with a neon sign? You could let the whole neighbourhood know at once.
All right, Smith, that's enough.
Oh, what does she do for an encore? A public flogging?
I said that's enough.
Jim, I don't think...
Please, Meg, keep out of this. There. Now get back to Wentworth before you cause any more trouble.
Oh, very well. But I think you're being ridiculous.
Oh, bloody lovely, isn't it? Takes a screw a couple of seconds to muck up a project we've been slaving our guts out on for days.
All right, ladies, come on, back to work.
I bet she did that deliberately. She never was too keen on the attendance centre project.
Come on, move it.
It's always the same, isn't it? We get something going and a screws it up.
Well, you didn't do too badly yourself. All that yelling isn't exactly going to endear us to the neighbourhood.
Well, it looks like we're attracting the cream of it today, eh, girls?
All right, I'll handle this. You lot keep working and shut up.
Afternoon, sir.
It's funny Fletch hasn't been in to see how we're getting on.
Yeah, I'll just go and have a gander, see what's going on.
Sure you've had enough to eat, Peter?
Yeah, you bet. You can make lunch for me any time.
Better than cold fish and chips all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dor, it's the cops.
Oh, it can't be. Oh, it's Mrs. Morris, but she promised.
Well, what's happening?
Oh, good, it's them, all right.
Mean, rotten bitch. It's Mrs. Morris. She's gone and dobbed you in.
What's the problem?
You in charge here?
That's right. I'm Jim Fletcher. I'm Deputy Governor of Wentworth Detention Centre.
We had a phone call, a complaint.
Who from?
Well, let's just say a local resident. Claims there are women prisoners running amok and endangering the neighbourhood.
That's ridiculous.
Well, her story is she's afraid to come out of her own house for fear of being attacked.
Yeah, well, I don't see any crazy women running amok. Do you?
These women are prisoners, though.
Yes, that's right. They're trusted ones. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
What are they doing exactly?
Oh, we're just cleaning the place up a bit. It's an important community project we're involved in.
Everything looks to be under control.
Yes, of course it is. I think your caller's got more imagination than good sense.
Yeah, sorry about that. Can't win them all.
That's all right.
It's a bit like your job, I suppose. Have to follow up every complaint. One of them might be genuine. Doesn't matter, the other 99% are either cranks or busybodies trying to give you a hard time.
I wonder what's going on. Wouldn't mind being a fly on Fletcher's shoulder right now.
Well, what are we bloody well going to do?
I don't know, love.
Well, what's happening out there?
Oh, they're still yakking to Fletch.
Well, maybe I ought to give myself...
No!
Well, that was the general idea,
Yeah, well,
wasn't
that
it?
was before. You go out there now and they're just going to say they caught you while you're on the run.
Yeah, but I was going to give myself up anyway.
Yeah, well, no screw's going to believe that.
Oh, she's right, you know, love.
They're going to put you in jail like they, Pete.
No, mate.
I'll just go out and watch and I'll call you if anything's happening.
Listen, I've got to get Martin out. They're going to grab him too. Come on, Martin, out the back door, hop it.
No, I'm not going without you.
Oh, come on, mate, just get going.
No.
Listen, mate, I'm going to be along later now. Just get going, come on.
Peter, bloody hell, you've got to get going too.
Well, I've got to give him a head start.
Bugger it. They're moving up this way. You better hurry it up.
Bye, Peter.
Bye, Doreen. I'm going to miss you.
Oh, never mind that. Just get going.
We'd better be going. Sorry to have disturbed you like this.
That's all right. No harm done. Uh-oh.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm the lady who phoned you about this outrage.
We have investigated the matter.
Then you're going to have these women removed.
Well, actually, no.
I'm a taxpayer, and if you happen to be unaware of the fact my taxes help to pay your salary, I expect some action.
As I was explaining to Mr. Fletcher here, we follow up any complaint, justified or unjustified. And I have seen no behaviour of the type you described over the phone.
Not at the moment, perhaps. But I regard these women as a threat to the community, and I demand some action.
Well, I'm sorry, but unless you can give me concrete evidence that something is wrong...
What, you mean we have to be bashed over the head before you'll do anything?
I don't think that's very likely to happen.
Well, that doesn't satisfy me. I shall speak to your superior officer.
Well, you're perfectly free to do that, of course. I'm sure the inspector would be more than happy to assist.
He's going to get caught. I know he is.
No, love, not him. He'll be miles away by now.
Maybe not today or tomorrow, but he will get caught. I know he will. I mean, he's got no contacts and he's so dumb in a lot of ways. He'll get nabbed the first time he fronts up for food somewhere. And he's going to have to nick it because he's got no money.
Oh, come along, love.
You know he's going to be picked up, don't you, Lizzie?
I'll just see what's going on out there. Grr. They're all out there still talking to that old buzzard from next door. Bloody funny if you ask me.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. The roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.